Johnston, and I'm the Administrative and Finance Coordinator for Services to Students with Disabilities. I've been associated with the office on and off since about 2009. I used to be a student assistant in the office. Now I'm a staff member, and I also graduated from this university with my undergrad and then also my master's in 2016. As you can tell, I love CSUSB. Go Yotes! Right? Okay. All right, now for more serious business.
Okay, what does the Disability Center offer to students?
The Disability Center facilitates equal access for students with disabilities by coordinating accommodations and support services, which promotes a campus culture that is sensitive and respectful of students' needs. We also offer internship and pre-employment services available through our Workability 4 program for students who are also clients of the California Department of Rehabilitation.
How do you think the center program benefits students on campus?
I think it benefits them greatly. First of all, by registering with our office, students are offered protection as a disabled student through the Americans with Disability Act and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, which are federal laws that protect individuals with disabilities. So that's important to make sure that the classroom environment and the learning materials are all equal access for students with various disabilities. Registered students also have access to a counselor who can advocate on their behalf for disability issues affecting them academically. So it kind of gives somebody in their corner. Also, the counselor and the student will work together to determine appropriate academic accommodations in and out of the classroom on campus.
What are some of the accommodations you guys provide for students?
After students initiate contact with our office, they also have to provide appropriate documentation in order for us to determine their eligibility. But once we've done all that, service and accommodations may include on-campus mobility services, getting them to and from the different buildings because we have quite a big campus. We offer note-taking services. We recruit peer note takers in a student's class to provide supplemental notes. We also have access to a Smart Pen, which is a program that we started about 2 years ago, I believe. And it's an electronic pen that records lectures. So basically it aids in the student's ability to go back and listen to the lecture again, and it syncs it to the notes that they were taking in classes. So that's a really exciting thing that we started about 2 years ago. We also provide testing accommodations, so our students can come and take exams in the office so they can have a reduced distraction environment or a distraction-free environment. If they need any kind of assistive technology to take their exams, maybe the exam read to them, maybe they need someone to help fill in their Scantron. So we provide those services. Also, we provide sign language interpreters and quick caption notes for some of our deaf and hard of hearing students. So students who can't necessarily hear what the professor's saying in classes, we have our American Sign Language interpreter who kind of bridges that gap. And then for our hard of hearing students, we have a captionist in there who's verbatim taking the notes for what's going on in class. They can go home later and read it, kind of support their studying. And then also we convert any print materials that the class uses into an alternate format for our students to be able to have that information. So they cut the textbook, they cut the binding off, they scan it, and then it changes the format of the book so that maybe students with learning disabilities or students who are visually impaired, the textbook can then be read to them. The program has some different features in it that allows them to facilitate better studying practices.
I didn't know that part. And who can apply and what is needed to apply for this program?
As long as a student has a documented disability, pretty much they can apply for services. So a student who feels they need services through our office will fill out an application. That application can be found online or they can come into our office to fill that out. They must submit appropriate medical documentation by a licensed medical care provider. And then we ask that the documentation be fairly recent, typically no older than 3 years. If it is older, we will probably have to have you go back and get something more current. It really depends on what your disability is because it's individualized. And then also, the medical care provider should list the ways in which your medical condition affects you academically in your day-to-day functioning. So it's important for us to have that additional information in terms of being able to assign accommodations. Kind of the more information, the better at that point. But if you got a disability and you got documentation to substantiate that disability, you can come in and apply for our services. And then anyone's more than welcome to come in and ask questions about our services and kind of how we support students with disabilities on campus.
Thank you.
Program is going to help my education because they offer rooms for me to test in since I have major anxiety. I cannot test in the classroom. So in order for me to do good and take my time and not get anxiety, they offer the room where I have time and a half of whatever the teacher is going to give me. So if I have an hour in class, the disability program gives me 2 hours and 30 minutes to time and a half. 2 hours and 30 minutes. And it makes me feel a lot more comfortable. I can take my time on the test. I feel like I can do so much better compared to in the classroom where I see everyone flunking up and finishing their tests right away, or I feel like I'm the last one and I want to hurry up and finish, and it just gives me anxiety and I can't focus. They also give me priority to registration to classes. They help me out if I have any problems with any professors or anything in life. I can come down to Marcy, which is a director. She helps me out with so many things. I've had issues already and the program is just amazing. I feel like they're going to help me in everything, and it's really my first full quarter. I attended this summer, but this is my first full quarter at Cal State San Bernardino, and it's been an amazing experience so far, and I just can't wait, and I'm excited, and I know I'll do good with their help. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I feel like they're going to help my education.